Hello, hello, hello. Mrs. Gigi here, and welcome to today's stream. Um, the thing that we are going to work with today is this one, and maybe something else. I haven't quite figured it out yet, or kind of have I, but we will see. We will see. So, the main thing though, like I told you last week, this is my summer journal. I'm going to use it throughout the whole summer. I am not going to use it necessarily like a journal, each and every day, because there is a whole bunch of pages, way more pages than I need. I'm just going to create and of course write a little bit in there too, but we will see how it goes throughout the summertime. I know for a fact that there will be some changes in my live streams. I will be live streaming more, I would say. Maybe, more like random several times a week, because I need to get going with those type of streams again. That's what I'm thinking. We yeah, let's just begin with a thing or two. So what I am going with is creating something here today, and I actually found this is in Swedish, but I actually found hitta något du tycker om. And the translation for that is find something that you like. So I'm going to use this phrase today to create a thing on this page. So how we say it in Swedish is hitta något du tycker om. I am going to cut it though, because it doesn't really fit on this page, so there will be some scissors in this, like that kind of. I'm going to cut away a little bit of the white on both sides here. Those. Looking like that, and let's see, are we going to, and I'm actually thinking about, actually found these cutouts or cut-offs, that's what it is, from the actual pages from last week when we created this journal. So I'm going to use those. It's always fun to use up what we have. Ladies' summer suits, and this might be the thing to use too. So that is going in. That we will save for something else. We will go through this because I know that there are summer things in here. So let's see, what can we use? There are several summer things in here actually. Cacti stickers, no. But there are several things. Let's look into, what is this? This might be a thing to use. That one, I like that one a lot. Let's see if we can use that. And those are words. A little bit of winter too, but here we have a lot of things that we were meant to use in another journal, but you never know. flowery bits. Flowers is always fun to use. To-dos. Oh, I am definitely going to look into these words. These words are a freebie from our lovely Never Hopeless by Elizabeth. She has a channel here on YouTube, you know, with all kinds of beautiful things in terms of daily journaling. So let's see first what we have. I do feel like, let's see, putting kind of like this, like that, just along the page, something. And then a little bit like that. We are going to maybe use this. And I'm thinking color. I would like to color this. And what am I going for with that? I was thinking crayon, but I want a little bit more of a subtle look to it. The only thing that I have close by, because I know that my daughters have taken the actual pencils, are these. We will go with the, I would say yellow and pink. So
har ni bantat han eller vad? Varför har han blivit så lätt? Han har typ mask i magen. Jag tror killen har mask i magen.
Oh, sorry, my daughters are just coming. So
Simba, han är jättelätt. Du måste ta han. Nu kommer det gå. Han kanske har mask i magen.
We'll have to.
Kan du bära han? Känn. Det här är Simba, det är inte lakrits. Han är lättare.
We'll have to look into that thing later on. So sorry for that. That's what's happening when the kids are having questions and things. And let's go back to the fun part of this. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink. It's not meant to be shown as much, so I'm just going like this with a little bit of inking might be the thing here. See, we can go with, what color do we like? Green or yellow? Or no, we are going yellow or pink, of course, but let's see, looking into this one maybe. So create this, and I am like you saw, going to use those small little blue strips, but that will be like a complementary thing with to go with this. That's blue, so the quote or the words for, or the sentence for today is, do what you like. Have you found anything to do you know, in your home? in thinking, finding something that you like. It can be actually kind of hard sometimes to do that. So, and I would actually say for some people it doesn't really come naturally either. It's just a process almost. Oh, this glue. I have this. I'm just going like this. So sorry, but this glue stick is one of those that I don't like. I've talked about it before, but that's the one that I have, so that's what we are going with. So let's look into this thing again. I wanted this further up. Further up. Further. Like that. That's way better. So looking into this and this, that will be a thing, I would say. And let's see, I thought I had another glue stick here somewhere, but apparently not. Going to glue, put a little bit of glue on this, or actually a lot of glue, like this, several times. Does it make it better? I don't know, but it kind of feels like that anyway. So we have it there. I need more, so I will just glue directly onto the actual page. And we are going in with this lighter blue, so that will be a thing. And just again a little bit more down on the page. It will dry clear, so won't really show in the end anyway. Might be, let's see if I just want to put a little bit of something like this, just to use those small little bits up. Wasn't planned, but that's what we are going with. So it is June 5th today, and for me it is evening time, and this is the first page that I create in this journal. Not the last one though, because I hope that there will be many. And let's think. I am in this case actually going to ink the edges of this. And am I going for the flowery thing? I'm not too sure about it, but let's see. If I want these two and then this. We will see how, if this like show up enough. And it might be. Do I like to have it darker? Of course, in some ways I do. It's really subtle. I don't know if it is visible. We will go in with a little bit more of red with this one. Combine those two, even on the edges on with this one here. Just a little bit like that. I don't know. Of course, with the edge there, it was a little bit too much, but who am I? It's just what happened. So controlling these things might be that you're not meant to always. I'm thinking like this, and even some sort of, no, we will go to put them together close, but close up to the point where you don't want to have anything more around them, in a sense. Just going like this. And there we have that part of it, and then around with this, just to make it a little tiny bit darker. Yet again, one of those, like, use up the things that you have. And then put the flower. Let's see, what is this? Oh, have I put it down a regular paper? What is this? Oh, I definitely need some glue on here. Hello, Time Lord. Always nice to have you here. Thank you for stopping by. So, here we have it. Something to... Oh, now I'm all confused. Find something that you like, but in Swedish. So, are we going with... Thinking here, you know, doodle is one of those things that I tend to go to, and do something that you like. Might be a little bit like this. Not necessarily going to put anything other than another piece of another color, really. I feel like I want to go darker red, so that's what we are going for. Or a little bit more pinkish, maybe. Let's think. Let's say that this is down to here, going in here, or around here. In with the pink pen and do a little bit more like this, thinking it will go like that in here, and going to now think a little bit extra, because do I want to have marker pen, or just actually going with these. I don't really know where my actual pens are. I'm thinking in this case that my daughters have them, but I have no clue where they are. So we're just going all the way around this, and that will symbolize what I like to do. Is it wavy lines? Not necessarily, or that might be it, because I don't really like to measure too much, and to me with wavy lines, measurements aren't the thing that you have to do. Just realizing that might be the the answer to my question. Why I don't really like to measure. For those of you that have known me a long time, know that when creating, I have no clue in what I want. In one way, it has to do with, I don't want to have to like plan or do anything like that more than necessary. So I usually don't really plan too much when it comes to the things that I do. Oh, you haven't seen him before. He was, I was planning on, do a little bit more of the videos with him throughout the summer, because, I don't, he was a part of my channel for a while there, a couple of years back. And yeah, usually you go outside with your dog, and I'm just literally filming small little clips and putting them together into either shorts or videos. So feel free to just join in on his little adventures. But he's just like, I'm thinking now, almost 10 years old. But he's almost, you can feel like he's being 10. There is something telling us that he's not a puppy anymore, even though sometimes you can just see and like that he wants to just jump around and have fun and do those types of things. There is a little bit too much of a glue down here, so I'll have to go back there and do something about it later on. Actually go. I have this Posca here beside me. I love circles, or things to go with circular, or in this case dots. I don't like that the nib there is a little bit, it's almost like it's fraying. The good thing about Poscas, and I don't know if you know, I usually when the nib here is too frayed, and I would say, too used in a way, you can just flip it around and there will be a new one on the other side. But that's a little bit of a tricky thing to do, so I don't do that until it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely, a lot of countryside, walks. We lived in Sweden's second largest city before, and when we got him, we actually moved to the countryside in terms of moving back to, I don't know, people from our childhood and things. So now we'll live in this tiny, and I'm saying tiny little village because there is of course there is school, there is preschool, and kindergarten and things, and a store, dentist, and doctor's office, really. you know it's the most necessary thing. We have a library too, and the post office, but that's about it. And then I would say 30 minutes to 3 of the largest city. There are, like, we are in the middle, and there are 3 different bigger roads all around us for reaching these 3 cities. But the countryside, I like it a lot. I said to my husband at one point, no, I would never go back there. I will never leave the city where we lived and go back to quote unquote, like nowhere, like in the middle of the woods kind of feel. But now when we've done that, and it was a couple of years back, that's kind of the best thing that I've done with the kids and schools and all things, really. I am debating with myself, do I want to put some sort of date on here? Oh, she lives in Devon. I am, in this case, I am going to write just June 5th, like this, so that I can erase it if I would like to, because I don't know. I don't know if I want to write it somewhere back in my mind. I feel like I want to, so that's why. I don't know if you know, or if I've talked about it before, Time Lord, but me, my parents and I'm the only child. We were actually meant to move to England, like when I was a child. It it never happened, but I have been in England and Scotland and Wales several times, like a lot of memories from England, and not just being there for a couple of days or weeks, because my father used to work, had that kind of work that we needed to spend months or longer in the British Islands. So we did. Let's see this one. And are we going for another one? I'm debating with myself. I love this book. It has beautiful flowers. It has music. And I'm thinking that I want to cut it up and use it, but then again, no. The feeling that, no, it's beautiful just to look like this. But yet again, I'm thinking that it might be the thing. Let's see if I can find, because I'm thinking, oh, I love that thing. I'm actually looking for a specific Swedish song, not necessarily. No, it's not in this book. I think I've taken the wrong one. Let's see, never been to Wales, but I like the Welsh. Not like the people I'm in. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, I've been visiting Nessie and I know going up in the Highlands and things a couple of times, and I would say of course, but that sounds a little bit strange. Maybe been in London. I don't even know. I can't really count it anymore. It's a lot. And things like that. So, am I going with this page? Maybe. Let's see. At one point, I was thinking not doing this in, you know, in necessarily anyways in date order or anything. Now thinking I want to have a little bit of a lighter page, but not, yeah, that might be, yeah, we will just put it there. Mostly mining, yeah. Oh, I can imagine. I know people all around the world really, and that's always fun. And I have relatives in Australia. I have friends and family all across Europe, and I have friends and a couple of relatives in the US. There was at one point living in Asia too, but they have moved. In the skipyards, yeah. Going, you know, when thinking about those kinds of things, I am going to, I I wouldn't say recently, but I love watching like series like and I don't know if you've seen it, like the Peaky Blinders or anything like that, but those kinds of series. I don't know. But you know, going back to the industrial type, you know, all those kinds of things that, yeah, there was a lot of things going on back then. So I'm looking into these. There aren't too many words. I've cut them out already, and I know what I'm going for. In this case, it's a little bit boring, but this is meant to be some sort of I don't know what to say, like calendar or whatever, or diary, or whatever you think, in this journal that I'm doing. So to do that might be nice to just put on this page. Going to fill it in, and these, I don't really like these pencils at all, really. I think my kids have bought them in one of the kids sections. There are a lot of things that I like that are cheap, but these aren't one of those things. They don't really have any, or not, you know, the pigment in these are not really too nice. Like you can see here too, like of course you can see it, but no, it's not as nice as it when if I would have used the other pair of pencils that I have. To do, am I meant to write something in there? I do have things that I want to do, but I don't know if I necessarily want to have them written down now, do I? There are actually a really fun activity going in the end of this month. That is our Swedish Midsummer. We actually have our National Day, or I don't want to say Independence Day because it's not really, but you know, a National Day tomorrow. I will be going live, but we have the day off and things like that, so I don't know if I will do the stream tomorrow too. Let's see if I can use this. This is a postcard, and I am thinking in this that I just want to use this piece of coffee dyed paper. Let's see if we can use that and just glue it on, because I want to like put something else on the paper there. And like I talked about earlier, the streams for the summer will be totally random, so not necessarily, but there will be more streams because I have more time doing things in here in my craft room, and there won't be, you know, anything else just laying there to poke on my to-do list kind of thing. So a little bit more here we'll take off, and for those of you wondering, of course I'll use these. So I'll just put it like this, and more glue here. I definitely have to be looking into the right glue stick. I had it here last week. Where it went? That's the question. this glue stick is extremely cheap, and yeah, I don't know, it needs a lot of glue just to put it in on, you know, something like this. So we have kind of prepped thing here. Are we going for prepping to the point where these are going in somewhere too? And yes, I think so. Let's see if we can just put them. Are we just going like this maybe? No, not on that page. Maybe here. That is kind of neat to have a little edge. Like that. Going in here. Prepped to be used for something. Like that. Another thing maybe. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it like that. Oh, of course, that the paper was brittle, and we'll just have it like that, and then go back here, do the same thing but on a page. Necessarily do it on, yeah, maybe this one, just like that. Is it a good or a bad thing using up what you have? Sometimes it's a struggle, but I like to do that if I can. And these things are definitely one of those. Like, you know, it doesn't necessarily have a downside to it, really. These are fragile. Coffee dyed paper that has been laying out here, never used. That will be thrown away though. That's way too small of a thing to be used. Are we going with, what does this say? The latest. No, these are the oh, hello, Anissa. No, I'm not from Texas. Definitely, definitely not. I have a friend that lives in Texas. I have friends all over the U.S. But me, I do live in Europe. I live in Sweden. So yeah, it is evening time for me, and I do have a lot of American friends that I at one point in this crafty community, in this situation, were like online all the time. So I know, and then, you know, it was a couple of years back and things have changed, but I am still here, or at least trying to do a thing or two, just because, you know, I like to create. So that's what we do. Oh, thank you so much. I'm thinking on using this somehow, or part of it. I don't know. This in itself is a really beautiful piece of paper, but as you know, the sizing of the actual journal is totally the opposite, I would say. And this isn't as nice, or this is really, that might be. Let's see if we can use the upper part of this one. And yeah, we'll do that. I don't really know if we are going to use this as a background for something else, but and yeah, we will just go do this. I don't know if I like it. It's just the way that I felt it needed to be. Inked, of course. I say of course because you know, I am one of those that I can't just leave it like this. It needs to be something ongoing on the edges there. And yes, we are going with a color. Some might have used this, I would say traditional distress ink, vintage photo, or espresso, or whatever it is. But no, I think I'm going green. Debating with myself. Am I going with this? A little bit of a lighter version of the green for this. And yes, these are oxides. The other one is ink pad that I have had for several years, really. I have no clue. It's one of those that I've been re-inked and things like that. Oh, you live in Albania. Oh, thank you for stopping by. You are mostly welcome. Really nice. I actually talked to Time Lord before, and to all my friends. We have a lot of friends all across Europe. So meeting up with new ones is always fun. So you are very welcome. Yeah, there are a couple of videos. I actually looked into that a couple of years back. I actually had like a video a day or something. So there are a couple of videos to watch. So please do if you like. You are more than welcome to. And of course, joining in on the fun things like this, doing it live. That might be way more fun than anything else. Debating with myself, do I want to put it like that? Just having that, it might be kind of nice. Actually might be. My journey here on YouTube began back, I would say 6 years ago or something, with joining in a big crafting community with a whole bunch of really, really sweet people that I still have a lot of contacts with. And of course, things change throughout the years, of course, and unfortunately, some I've lost contact with, but most of everyone I still have contacts with, actually, and that's really fun. Let's see if we can do something like this. I wouldn't say that the things that I do are never planned, but no, most of the time I go with the flow. That's where I kind of had to go in crafting. Thinking now, am I going with the darker green on the edges of this, or even painting it green? That would actually be kind of neat. Let's see, where do I have the little pad? Yeah, the green one. We will switch that one out to the green, and let's see here, what can we use? Do have several things here in my craft room, but never the things that I want to or need to at the moment. So let's see, we are going with the darker mode lawn. Trying to, like, just do a little bit like this. I don't know if I will go with a little bit of a darker kind of feel to it too, but we will see. Because the other one was a little bit more yellowish tone in the actual color there. So let's look into if we need more of it, or it will probably just be covered, but I will do have to look into it though. Yeah, a little tiny bit more here at the inside of it, the edging. And this piece of doily has actually been laying here for several months, never been used. Let's see, like that. And in this case, of course, we do need a lot of glue, and I am going with this little tiny thing on the edge here, and just on the bigger parts here, and like this. And then just a tiny bit up here, and then use the other glue stick. Our friends in the north. Oh, yes, I've heard about that series. The art. Yeah, I will definitely look into that, Time Lord. Absolutely. When thinking art supplies, I don't know. There are, to be totally honest, here in Sweden there are a big chain like craft supplies. There is, I would say, only one big one, and it is expensive. That's the word that I have for it. But it has a lot of things. I not I don't know. Like some of the things I buy there, but most things I'm actually buying online. And we do have smaller, like independent craft stores. I actually have a friend that has a craft store. Have to support her in the things that I do sometimes. But most of the things that I buy are things that I have had for so long and found, through friends and things. And I tend to go with, regarding to the art supplies, I always say you do not need much things to create. So for me, it started out with a thing like this, and yeah, I have it here today. I'm not necessarily too fond of it, but a thing like this. This is from the kids section in a store. These are my kids ones. They have mine, the more expensive ones. But these were the ones that I had on the table today when I started the stream, so I couldn't do much. But the thing that I love, I, if you need to choose one thing out of everything that I have, there is a lot of glue. There's markers, there are pencils, there are, you know, you name it kind of thing. But the thing that I go for 99% of the time, I do need to show you for those of you that haven't been with me for a little bit. I have used it a lot. I've used it several years. It's this one. I don't know if you recognize it. I have gone through several of these. It's the watercolors from IKEA's kids section. I've had, you know, I had really expensive watercolors. I have had, you know, like, you know, watercolors that you can buy like literally everywhere, kind of. Um, yeah. But the ones that I like the most and the ones that I tend to go to, you know, if I need to just go to something in watercolors, I always tend to go with this. Uh, so the watercolors from IKEA, and I don't know the current price, but I would say like probably just like $3 or $4 US dollars. The beauty though with that, you know, unfortunately I'm not sponsored by IKEA or anything, but I have one extra here, just, you know, if necessary. The beauty is that you get it in like a thing like this, and you, like, let's see, you lift up, it's a lid type situation like that, and then they have these in here too, like supplies with, you know, you can use this for any type colors in these small little containers, and this one as a lid, and with those snap kind of lid things ongoing, like. So like I told you, I don't know the price, the current one, but I would say like $3 or $4 US dollars. It's really cheap. um, it's not like any like professional type, but you know, if you don't have to, you know, you want to try out watercolors, that's the way to go. If you have IKEA somewhere close, like if you have it, if you are able to buy online or whatever, that's definitely one thing that I would go for. uh, Other than that, I don't know. You know, I have so many things, and I always tend to go with cheap things first, or trying out all kinds of things first. And if I find that I want to, you know, continue creating with that type of supply, I tend to go with looking into the more expensive ones, not necessarily buying it though, because that's a whole different kind of thing. Let's see, another TV show and a lot of great actors and the stars of the hmm the start, oh, there are so many, you know. I tend to go with TV series, you know, a series, or um, maybe like a documentary type thing, rather than being there needing to wait. I don't know if you you're like that, but I back in the day you always had to wait, you know, till the next week or whatever, till next time. But no, I don't want to wait. I want to look into the series. You know, binge watching, really, that's kind of what it is. So we have some sort of something going on. It's definitely not finished, but there is something there. This is something that I feel like, do I want to put it there? No, it doesn't really go with. Yeah, I like it there. Let's put it on this page. Hello, Randy. Welcome. I don't know if you know the pronunciation of that thing, Randy. God eftermiddag, or in my case, for now, it is almost 8 p.m., so it's god kväll. That might be a tricky word to pronounce. And I've heard it before, of course, with the A with the two dots. The word, or the sound of the lettering, like, yeah, god kväll. But it's always fun to meet up with new people, so you are mostly welcome. Yeah, it's a tricky one, Time Lord, it is, I know that. I have heard several people trying to pronounce it and it's difficult. I'm tending to go back. Do I want to write anything of what happened today? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm not necessarily going to have it like a diary, but I had a thing going on today that I do want to save, that I don't. How am I going with this? Let's see. I love my, and in this case again, regular white printer paper, kind of cheap to buy, because I tend to draw and do a lot of things myself when creating, so I need a star. Totally, no, doodly type stars, and I don't really mind, but I tend to go like this, creating it and just cutting it out from the printer paper, and then I can use it, of course. And I don't, you know, I need to show you, of course I have these type things. I have several of these. I have these up to the point where I have them and I never ever use them. I have this specific one right in front of my face for this specific journal. And no, I don't know if I am ever going to use it, but I have it here just so I need my mind to be thinking of it. Back to work it is. Thank you for stopping by, Randy. So we will actually go into that little bag of ephemera pieces later on this summer, maybe looking into using some of it, or looking into it and realizing no, you haven't used anything. That might be a challenge in itself. I don't know. But I tend to create my things like this. It is easier, and I can do the exact thing that I need. And no, I'm not, I do these things totally doodly like, so no, you don't really need to be a star in creating things. Was reading a Viking saga. It's very interesting with the Viking saga and these Vikings in Europe, where all ended up in Sweden. What? And oh, that was interesting. What? what's the saga's name? What was the title of the book or the author or whatever? The star. And let's see, what are we going for? Actually thinking like this yet again. No specific reason, I just felt I needed to doodle. Going in here again. And this will actually be June 5th, and I'm always debating when doing these things because I'm doing it live like this, usually with English speaking audience or friends like this. I tend to go English, but sometimes I do feel like I want to do it in Swedish, and I am thinking here number 5. I'm just going. June in Swedish is juni, so actually going in Swedish there. Just so, a thing for myself really. Some days I do have things that I want to write in here. Most of the days I'm not going to. I am going to use it, doing things like this instead. So this will be written on. Let's see. It was called The Saga of the King Heinrich the Wise. The writer is unknown, but was translated by Christopher. Oh. I do need to look that up. Sounds interesting. Let's see. What more? For those of you that have been here, do know that I'm trying to use things like this. I am making a calendar, or not necessarily. It's my summer journal. I've made several of them before. I done another. Like I can show you. I've done several journals. This is one from last year, spring summer journal. This is this is both written in English and in Swedish. This is from starting in May, actually last year. Several different kind of things going on throughout with all different kinds of creations. In this specific one I've used a lot of lace, written things throughout, flipping through because of course there are things written underneath things like that, and I haven't written on some of the pages. For me, it's the process of creating the actual journal sometimes, and I don't really have too much time to write in it. So journals like this tend to be things like this. It is not necessarily any secrets written in here, but there are actually things throughout my daily life like this. So the journals that I make tend to be totally random really. I did a thing like this, reading journal like that. Here I know that I've written on the back side of this, and yeah. So they seem to come from Iceland. I do. Let's see. I do need to look into that. This one was from several years back. I just wanted to show you, Anissa. This was a little tiny journal that I have during vacation at one point, July, looking like this. Also written things that I did throughout my days there. So yeah, a little bit of everything. Another version, right? And to be totally honest, in this specific one, I think I've used a lot of junk mail. And yeah, there was a lot of things going on that year. So yeah, there was a chunky little one throughout the summer, several signatures, but it was really, really fun to create in this thing. Oh, thank you so much, Time Lord. Yeah, I can show you another version of another thing. This was actually design team project that I was on. A designer. I've been on several ones, back several years back and so. But this was an altered book, so it was a book from the beginning. Different kind of pages and flips and pockets and things. This little tiny flip there. So this was made out of a digital from a designer on book pages. So there is a little bit of extra work with them, but it was fun creating pockets like this throughout. You can try. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And because of that, I need to show you. I always tend to go with do use what you have. Let's see. I have one journal that I tend to show. If you want to try it out, you can literally use whatever you have. The journal, this specific one is made out of trash. Literally things that you can find in your own home. I haven't bought a thing in this one. It's from November 2021. This is a cereal package. Totally, most of us do eat cereals, so I just literally took the actual package of the cereal and created. Of course, you can cover it or do all kinds of cutesy things, but you don't really need that. This I had, that was a little project within. But here you have, these are, laminated in this case, but leaves from the outside of the garden. Envelopes, regular ones from the mail. These are actually, and this is kind of fun. I have painted these with gesso, or you can paint it with white paint, like regular acrylic white paint, or cover it like I've done here with another piece of paper. It's actually bills. So I paid the bills, and then I didn't really need them anymore, but I wanted to do something with them. So I covered most of the things. You can see things here and there, but not necessarily what it actually says on the things. These are toilet paper rolls. I flattened them. I haven't really used it because this is one that I created just to show. These things, this is a security envelope. These are made out of envelopes too. Just the inside of envelopes, like this specific envelope, this is a bluish type color inside. So I just took the reverse part of that and created this heart. The toilet paper roll is just to have it more sturdy. If you want to write anything on the back, you can do that. This specific pocket is another type envelope. These are all like bills and paper, junk mail papers. Of course, written another envelope, and I just folded paper and sewed it on for a little bit of a decoration. This is notes. This is just a regular newspaper page. I don't know. I just felt I needed to do something. I have a series on my channel going back to November 2021 where I explained all of these. This is kitchen like towel paper. Like I literally just took some acrylic paint on it, glued two things. It's a little is saying in a picture, and then I sewed around it. You don't really necessarily have to sew around it. You can do like a little pencil type marking or whatever, or just leave it as is. So this is a cluster done with things to go, things from a bin like this. Literally, I can take, for instance, today I can take this thing. I don't know, let's look through it all. I can take maybe this. Let's see if we can just take a part of this. We need, most of the times when I create a thing like this, I feel like I need 3 of the things, 3 or more. That's where I tend to go. So let's see if we can have another thing or two. Maybe, bits and pieces. I don't know if I have too many of these things laying here though. We can have this thing. And the beauty with creating a thing like this, it's not for everyone, but I had to learn how to create like this because I was at one point really planning out everything that I created, up to the point where I did sit and didn't really create a thing because I couldn't go further than just planning. I couldn't. I tried. Believe me, I tried. But I couldn't, so I didn't. It just left me just hanging there, wanting to create. This is a coffee filter that I put regular, in this case, kids markers with water. So let's see, we take these two, we take that thing, we have that, I don't even know, like this or something else. We have that and maybe a little word or two. Let's see if we have that. Maybe we can take it from this. Let's use the word create. We have a wonderful word there. Let's use that. That's the beauty of a word, the create. To create a thing or two. Everybody can do it. So, and yes, of course, I have done these things in different kinds of ways. I tend to go and I found things that makes it easier. I have this tiny attacher from Tim Holtz. You don't really have to have that, but here you have it. I don't know. You know, I'm going to put it in the journal. And of course, you can plan it out, like if you want to have like a specific, you know, summary look to it or whatever, but no, not necessarily. So, yep. This is literally made out of trash. Trash things that you can find in everywhere in your home. Literally everywhere. So let's put that back where it belongs. I tend to have it close by because there's always questions. Let's just put it there. If I knew it beforehand, you know, I could just put it here and use this tiny attacher to put it together on the actual page at once, but I didn't know that. So let's just put a little bit of glue on the back side here and then put it in. Stick figures. No, I'm almost certain that you can do all kinds of other creative things. The thing when doing a thing like this, you know, it's not really for everyone, like I told you before. It might be a learning curve. You have to just look to what you have on your table. Like this, I can definitely go making a cluster again. I don't even know, like men's bicycle pants. No, not necessarily that I want to use that specific word. But I do like to use this background for something maybe. So let's see what we have. Is this the moment of truth when it comes to actually open up this? Let's see if we can kind of do a premiere on this thing and actually see, like, and you know, I can yet again do plans. I don't like that. My life tells me that I don't like plans. Let's do something like this. Do you want to have it this way around or that way around? Maybe that way around for making it being able to put on there. It's not anything special. I could go with, let's see if I can put it back here, like on this page. If I don't have the tiny attacher, most of us have glue, some sort of glue. Can put that one there. And of course you can go all fancy and doing all kinds of things. No, I'm not that kind of crafter. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. And this little flower bit. And I tend to, when doing these things, I tend to not put glue all over. Let's just put it there because you'll never know. You might find the word that you want to put here. So there you have another thing. And yes, I've used up things that you've used today. That's the beauty of the thing too. And of course I can still use these. And for those of you wondering in the background there, no, of course. I'm not going to save everything to use. Those will go in the bin. So, yep, this is how I do it. Or, you know, in my, some might say that this isn't art, this isn't crafting. It might not be, but I do it for fun. To me, I at one point I sold everything I made. I used to paint with oil, um, do all kinds of, you know, canvas type situations and things. It took a turn like this, and yeah, that's not what I do anymore. I do this thing because I think it's fun. I do it with trashy things, I do it with all kinds of things, and yeah, this is my way of showing it nowadays. So, writing a little bit there, creating a little bit here. For those of you wondering, in the beginning of the stream I created this. This is Swedish. I found this sentence or this question in a magazine. In Swedish it says hittat något du tycker om. Hittat något du tycker om. Find something that you like. This is the thing that I like to do. So, what did I do? I put it in here. And yes, I doodle a little bit, put a little bit of a scrap bits and pieces on there just to have it in here as a memory. So, yep, that is what we will do throughout summer. We will fill up this thing. I will do a random type situation when it comes to live streams. I know that I will do more live streams usually throughout this last couple of months. I've done one live stream each week, and streams together with friends too. But throughout summer I do have more time, and I will use the time to create together with you live. And that's what I'm going for this summer. So if you haven't already, set the notification bell to on, and yes, there will be notifications hopefully when I'm live next time. Throughout these next couple of weeks, there will be more scheduled type situations, but in July I will go on vacation, and yeah, there will be totally random several times a week then. And might be, you know, I will definitely show my dog Teddy a bit more. I always tend to do that during spring and summertime. He has his own Teddy dog vlog here on the channel, where I have shorts and, you know, shorter video clips of his daily life here in the family kind of thing. Other than that, hope you have found something that inspires you, and just try a little bit. Maybe you have, you know, pencils like this, a regular one like this. If you maybe have a little bit of artsy things like a Posca pen, that's even better. Not necessarily the thing that you need, but yeah, that's where you start your journey. And for those of you interested, I will be live again tomorrow together with my friend Create with Becca. We are creating a diorama, uh, a little scene kind of thing. For those of you that don't know what the diorama is, uh, am ongoing with an outdoor scene with a little cottage, and yeah, you know. So let's say that we will see you and me and a friend of mine. No, we will see it. You will see us again tomorrow. Uh, Tomorrow, Friday, June 6th, 10 a.m. Central Standard US time, that is. So, have a wonderful evening, I say, here from Sweden. Have a wonderful rest of your day for those of you watching over in another time zone. And I'll see you again next week. Bye, bye, bye.